and I'm on a little bit early. We have a 7 o'clock show featuring the amazing Rose Garcia. I cannot wait, cannot wait, cannot wait. But I'm going to give a little bit of time before we get started. Little bit of time before we get started. Wanted to get on. Of course, I'm Cheryl Banks, the CEO and founder of the Beauty Box for Him. And we have a special treat for you tonight. While we're waiting for 7 o'clock, just want to let you know, amazing things are happening. You have to go to our website. Here's our website. You have to go and check it out and see what we're all about and how we got started. Super Bowl Sunday night. You're going to freak out when you go and you get the information. Go to the About Us section and read what happened and how we got started. If you had told me just 3-4 months ago that I would be the CEO, founder of a nonprofit, I would not have believed you. I would have thought you'd lost your mind. So you got to go and check it out. The Beauty Box for Him, Women Empowerment and Bible Studies is an amazing thing where we are basically knowing Jesus, we are growing in God's word, and we are showing others the way. That's what we're all about. But we have so many different things going on. Like we have an in-person Bible study this Saturday. We did vision boards last week. We have seminars like this. Next Wednesday at 7, we have the health benefits of CBD. Is that right? CBD. And then we have all sorts of amazing things going on. We have a Facebook community, and we also can be found on YouTube. It's truly about empowering women and enriching women's lives. So you got to check us out. It's a safe place for women to be women, because I have found that a lot of women are disconnected, depressed, not hooked up in churches, not bonded with other women. And that's a huge need. Because we as women, we do so much, right? We do so much for everybody. We wear so many hats. And I've heard recently that one should be a crown. We should always have on our crowns, queens. Okay, so if you're on, please, if you're on YouTube, you need to subscribe to our channel and share this post, okay? Who's commenting? Hello, beautiful. Let me go so I can see the names. If you want us to see your name, please give StreamYard permission to show your name. I'm going to go to, hello, Alice Richardson. Hey. Hello, Amelia Amos. Hey, Patty Payne. Hey, y'all. Welcome. I'm so excited. Okay, so the lady we are going to bring on, I'm going to bring her on. We have 10, 9, 8. I need a counter. Wait, let me get a counter because I'm cool like that. But y'all, let me bring her on before I tell you a little bit about her. Hey, Rose! Let's see. Hey, Rose, how are you?
Well, you mentioned women wearing many different hats, and you said that one of the hats should be a crown. So guess what? I had to get up and go and get my crown, and now I am wearing my crown.
Don't you just love that? Well, yes. I have to tell them about how we got started. They have to hear it. And I like to power up with powerful women. When I say the name of our community is the Beauty Box for Him, Women Empowerment, because it's empowered women, empowering women But we didn't always have things, going on.
Yes. I mean, we've always struggled. Women have always had to struggle and fight for things. And so, yes, you're right.
So let me just tell you guys about Rose. We are so fortunate to have her. I feel so honored. She is a USA Today best-selling author, screenwriter, and podcaster. Oh, wait, where's your banner? Let's take this off so they can see.
What are we taking off?
Oh, it's awesome author. That's what she put for herself.
Yes.
She is a USA Today best-selling author, screenwriter, and podcaster. She believes that no matter how dark the world may seem, there is always a sliver of light if you look hard enough. This theme permeates every aspect of her being and threads itself through the fabric of her stories. Okay. Rose is a lawyer turned writer. She writes young adult fantasy with Hispanic characters. That's what excited me so much.
Oh, yeah.
Complicated romance, powerful families, and dynamic friendships. Oh, it's got it all. She is known for bringing richly diverse characters to life as she draws on her own cultural experiences. Rose lives in Houston with her husband and 2 needy fur babies, now 3, right?
Now 3.
If she's not writing, she's either reading or watching a show. She might even be eating tacos because tacos are life. She said that tacos are life. So I am excited. And first, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving back, because women, we need to see women making things happen.
Yeah.
And what I love about you is there was not a straight line from A to Z to where you got. Okay. There were all sorts of things. So we want to hear about that. And we want to know, who is Rose Garcia? How did you get there?
Okay, so I want to say hello to everyone that's watching, especially special shout out to my former Mary Kay Power partner, Cindy Anderson. I see your name and I'm so excited. Dudette. I love Cindy. We go way back. We worked together in Mary Kay. Any other Mary Kayers on here? Hello. So let me just say, okay, how did I get here?
Who are you and how did you get here?
Oh, wow. That's huge. Okay. So I'm from Corpus Christi and Texas, born and raised. And when I was growing up, I always had my face in a book, right? And it was always fantasy, always something that had to do with other worlds, dragons, magical creatures, spells, magicians. I mean, whatever. Like, that was my jam and I loved it. And so when I went through school and through high school, I got to the point where, I went to college and I was like, well, what do I want to do with my life? And nobody really ever said, take this passion of yours and do something with it. Because everybody wanted me to go to law school. And I'm like, well, okay, because it fit my mold, right? Because I love to read. I love to write. I'm very extroverted. I certainly don't mind speaking to a crowd or a group. And so my brother was also a lawyer, still is. And I was like, okay, I'll just go to law school. So I did. And I loved it. I loved law school. I felt like I really blossomed when I was there and I met my husband. And the whole time I'm still reading and loving fantasy and science fiction. And my husband is the same way. So we were like, the really cute, nerdy couple. I would watch Star Trek and then we would read our books. I mean, we just fit like that. And so then I started, having children. And when my second child was born, Jake, my son, that is when I did not want to be a lawyer anymore, because it was long, hard, stressful hours, and I wanted to be there for my kids more. And so I met someone who introduced me to Mary Kay.
Yay!
Yes. And by the way, I love Mary Kay and I still use the products to this day. Thank you very much. I'm looking pretty good, right? And so, yeah. And so I love the philosophy of Mary Kay of empowering women and helping women achieve their goals. And so I was like, rah, rah. I was jamming with it, right? I loved it. But it still was not meeting my passion, right? Of being a storyteller and writing books and all this stuff. And then
Well, I have to ask you before you go on, do you feel like your experience in Mary Kay helped you in that world?
Mary Kay has helped me tremendously because it really taught me a lot about talking to people on a different on a different level.
Yes.
Building your business in particular,
Yes.
and promoting myself in a way that was natural, but yet also purposeful.
Right.
Because as a writer, I spend a lot of time marketing myself and my books.
Yeah, and you build relationships. I think talking
Yes.
as an attorney, you're just getting your points across. But in Mary Kay, it teaches you people skills.
Yes.
Right? So it's a beautiful thing. So I am so happy. I know so many people who, not so many, but I know some really, really successful women that made a stop through Mary Kay. Okay. And they always say that it really helped them in a huge way with whatever they went on to do. And something else you said about your passion. You
Yes.
said you were always passionate about sci-fi and reading, and that, you know, nothing had filled that void until what?
So this whole time that I'm going through and doing all these things, my husband would say to me every now and again, "Hey, are you going to write that book?" Because he knew that it was something that I wanted to do. And I just didn't have the time or the energy. And I was, doing these other things, Mary Kay included, and also doing some legal consulting and working in the legal media business. And so even one year he gave me for Christmas this handheld recorder, back in the day, and I would like record my ideas and thoughts.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing that really spurred me into action was two things. 9/11. 9/11 really, really made me think about what I was doing, and it really motivated me to do really what I wanted to do, right? Like inside of me, my spirit. And so that was one thing. And then the other thing that motivated me was the whole Twilight craze.
Yeah.
So when Stephenie Meyer came out with her Twilight books, I was, the lawyer snob that didn't want to read the vampire books. I was reading a lot of historical romance at that time. And I'm like, I don't want to read that. And a very good friend of mine, also a lawyer, was like, "Rose, you have to read it." So she's smart. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. I fell in love with the story. I'm a Twilight fan big time. But the thing that really motivated me about those books was about the author, Stephenie Meyer, because she built her author career still raising kids. And, sometimes in life, you need to see somebody else doing what you want for you to believe that you can do it too.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to write my book. Basically, in a nutshell, I started writing, and
here you are.
Here I am.
So how many books?
It wasn't that easy. I'm going to take this off.
Yeah, you are a queen for sure. How many books and how many series have you written?
So I have right now, I have I have 8 full-length novels. I have 4 novellas, which are just half the size. And then I have maybe, I can't remember, 5 or 6 short stories.
Okay.
And I'm just building and building my author career. In the beginning, it was kind of slow going because I had to learn about how to write. It wasn't, my dog is barking.
That's okay. It's fine. That's what happens when we work at home.
Yes. And so it just took me a while to figure out how to be a writer.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to learn the craft. And of course I thought, oh, I can do it. And then I wrote a beautiful long book that was kind of terrible. And so I got to write. It was terrible. But
that inspires me because I never dreamed of being the CEO and founder of a nonprofit. I have no idea. I'm learning as I go. But God doesn't call necessarily the equipped, but he always equips people he calls. So I'm excited. And one thing you said about 9/11 and the Twilight series just sparking you.
Yes.
You realize the brevity of life, and you realize that we only get one life. And if you're not enjoying the journey, what's up? I heard somebody say recently, most people die at 40, but they're buried at 80.
Wow. You know what? I understand that because I see people that are in the grind and living the grind and miserable and stuck. So I totally understand that concept. And it wasn't the way I wanted to live, right? And so I was going to do it. I was going to do what I really, really, really wanted to do. And yes, it's work, right? I have to be disciplined. I have deadlines. I have to produce my product.
Yes.
I go out there and I, go to events and I do all this stuff, but I love it.
Right.
And that is the difference. So, and it excites me. I used to always say, and I kind of say it now, that I feel like I'm in love, right? When I'm writing, I feel like, oh, I'm excited and the giddy and I'm happy.
I have a question for you. I have to stop you. What do you say, what do you say to yourself? Because I know you have self-talk, because I know I do. When you run across something that's hard, but you have to do it, and you're going to do it alone. How do you psych yourself up? What do you say?
So I basically, it's so funny because my self-talk is more like, oh, I got it. I just need to think it through. I got it. I'm pretty easy on myself. I'm not like, oh, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Yeah. I nurture myself and then I have a support group. I have a group of authors and we Zoom every Monday and they're my support. And so I'll reach out to them if I hit a roadblock. And a lot of times I'll also reach out to my husband. He's my number one fan.
Yeah. You have to know who's in your corner, because some people are there, but they're not there. So you really do have to. What I tell myself is, I'm smart. That's what I tell myself. I'm smart. I can figure it out. And I figured it out.
Yeah.
We got this. I'm going to figure it out. But I love the idea of having that support group that you get with every week. And because it's important to have mentors or people who are in the throes with you. So I'm excited about that. Now, I have always loved sci-fi movies. I mean, The Matrix and the Avatars.
Oh, yes.
Star Trek, but not necessarily the movie, the old school Star Trek.
Yes.
But I think one time, a long time ago, so sci-fi, if we are decided we like roads and we want to see what this is all about, where should we start? Where should we start? What series? What should we do?
Okay. So the thing about my books, they're young adult. And I love young adult because it's that time of life where everything is fresh and everything is powerful. Every emotion is high. Yes. If it's love, if it's disappointment, if it's revenge. I mean, it's all like
Yes.
high level emotions because
Yeah.
being a young adult. So all of my books are young adult, which means basically also they're clean.
Yes.
Yes, they're PG-13. So if you enjoy PG-13 movies, you will enjoy my books. There's nothing graphic about it because I don't want to write that. That's just not my thing. But I know there's a lot of, you got to read what you like and what you enjoy. So I have 2 series. My first one is the Final Life series, and it is an urban fantasy. So it's a fantasy set in our regular world, and it's about a girl who's had multiple past lives. She is tracked and hunted in each life by a supernatural villain. And the series is the story of her quest for survival.
Wow.
That is my first series. It's 4 books, and then I have 2 spin-off novellas. And then, 4 spin-off novellas. It's very popular and it's very exciting. If you like the show Supernatural, you'll love the books, or Shadowhunters.
Yeah.
So I wanted all of my books to interconnect. So I have a character in the Final Life series. His name is Trent Avila. He's my Hispanic family. Because my Hispanic family runs through all of my books. Okay. So I took Trent and I used his cousin Julio, gorgeous Julio, and I gave him a story called The Fae Bloodlines. And this is my series that is super active and popular right now. It is about a Fae princess who discovers a deadly palace secret that forces her to cross into the forbidden human realm to seek the aid of a gorgeous human. His name is Julio, but he is not an ordinary human. He comes from a long line of Hispanic healers with their own special powers.
Wow. Rose.
Yeah.
I would love to see your brain on film, like X-ray or a PET scan, because it's apparently, girl, you got a lot going on in there.
I really do. I mean, I can just be doing the most ridiculous thing, like washing dishes and looking out the window, and I'll see something and I'll think, ooh, that would be so cool. And then I have to write it down, ideas, because I have ideas all the time floating around in my head. And it's something that I've always had, right? Like when my kids were little, and I would put them to bed and they would always say, tell me a story. Okay, boom, I would tell them a story.
1 hour later.
Yeah, and it was always so elaborate.
Yes.
Yes, and I loved it, and I never had a problem. And some people have a problem with telling a story, but I was like, sure, boom, here's the story, bam, 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 bam.
Every night. It. So what made you put your family, Hispanics, Mexican Americans, what made you? How did that happen? Tell me.
You know what? It wasn't anything that I thought I need to do Hispanic representation. It wasn't like I got to do it. It was just a natural thing for me. Yeah. It wasn't something that anyone said for me to do. It was just my life, right? Yeah. So I brought my life because that's what I know. So, the Hispanic family, they don't have a lot of money. There's family drama. They go to Catholic church. They go to mass. Midnight mass, Christmas Eve is a big deal. They eat chili and tamales. They drink agua frescas. And so it was just me. And it was just me putting this in my stories. And then people were like, oh my gosh, you write diverse stories? And I'm like, yeah. I love it. Yeah.
So cool. You are so cool.
I don't know about
that. Ask you, thinking back on everything you've gone through, what would have stopped you? What is the one thing that would have stopped you?
That is such a heavy question. I was a little bit stopped when my mother-in-law got very ill
Yeah.
and ended up living here with me under hospice care. And it was the most incredible experience that I had the honor of having, to be with her and love her right to the end. I loved her so hard. She was like a mother to me and a best friend. And so after that, I was a little bit waylaid. I just kind of lost a little bit of my spark. And so it took me a little while to get it back and to get motivated and to get excited. And so I don't know, I guess something like that, which
Can you speak on how you got your fire back?
it was gradual. It was gradual, but it was like that little voice that was like, don't forget me. I'm here, my little creative voice. And it just got louder and louder and louder. And I even had fans reach out to me, and they were like, are you okay? Because all of a sudden it was like radio silence.
Right.
And so that was like, oh, wow.
Right.
They want to know if I'm okay. And they are asking me about my next book. And so that was a good thing. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I did it. I set deadlines. I got in the groove. I just.
Isn't it amazing when people are connected to your dreams and your passions? It's not just about you. And if it was just about you, who's to say you would have come back? But other people are always connected to our dreams.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when we are part of something bigger than ourselves. And I'm all about leaving a legacy, leaving something behind, because we all have an unavoidable appointment, right? We're all leaving here one day.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you leave, how will people remember that you were here?
Yeah.
And so it's so important. Hey, Kim, you see Kim McHugh?
Oh my gosh, hey, Kim.
Yes, Kim is here in the house. She was on, I told you she was on, and maybe you saw her, because she was on, has that tea house in Bel Air and that big, huge tea Amazon thing. I know some powerful women. I'm so excited.
Kim is humongous. And I have this little dream, Kim, that I'm going to have like some sort of a book event at your place. I keep thinking that I'm going to do it. And because that place is amazing.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, I know. I said the same thing. Now that I've started this, some type of fundraiser or something over there. And Kim is so cool. You guys are amazing. So I'm so excited. So,
babe, you're amazing.
Yeah, we're going to do great things. So I hope that everybody here, let me just do this shameless plug just a second. We'll go and check out our website and the About section and everything. You want to be a part of this. You definitely do. Now, let me bring up my friend here. that was just that. Okay, so life happens. And you talked about your mother-in-law. You being that's a gift.
It was a gift.
It's a gift that you got to be with her.
I know.
And go through that whole thing with her. And you weren't in that grind doing something you don't love, because that's the thing. Our days are numbered. Yeah. And I talk about people, and I know you're not here for this, and I'm not saying that Rose promotes this, but in the beauty box, we want to get to know God. Yeah. And we want to grow in his word, and he has a purpose for each one of us, and it's way bigger than ourselves. And then we get to show other people the way to him. And I'm really big on that, because I don't know, people think that once you're a Christian, you can't have fun, but I have so much fun. If things aren't fun, Rose, I can't do it. And I know you're the same way.
I'm the same way. I'm having fun, and I'm going to have fun.
Yeah, I called Rose, and I just did a home workout. I'm in yoga pants, and I put my shirt on, and she was drying her hair.
Yes. I know. I'm always in yoga pants, by the way.
No, life can be so amazing. And, I heard my pastor say that you can find people who are not happy or miserable, and hurt people. They pass it on. They're not going to keep it to themselves. Usually those are people who are not moving and working in their gifts.
You're right.
So you got to find your gift and your passion.
You're right.
So what is it, one thing or something that we don't know about you that you think we would want to know, or you're writing your books? I know that you're is it Comic-Con or what
Comic-Palooza. So I go to Comic-Palooza every year. It's in Houston. It's my biggest event. And it's always Memorial Day weekend. I've been going for like 10 years, except for when they stopped for COVID. But I love it. I love going out. I love meeting readers, future writers. I meet a lot of people. So that's super exciting. And I did see we have a question.
Yes, I did see that too. So are you talking about from Joe Wells?
I can't see it anymore. Yeah. Where did you turn to for knowledge on writing after already writing a book? Joe, do you want to be a writer? Are you a writer?
Joe has been on our show for, she's an educator.
Hey.
Been on our show. So yeah, you want to answer that?
Yeah. So the thing about writing is there's an actual structure to writing, which of course, when I started, I did not know anything about. So after I wrote my book, I showed it to my friends and family, and they were like, oh, this is so great. This is so wonderful. But I knew it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, well, I love the support, but I really need somebody to really tell me what's up with this manuscript. And so I have a really good writer friend in Houston, and she was like, okay, if you are ready to really have somebody dig in, you need to talk to this writing coach. So she gave me the information for a writing coach. And she's a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I sent her old school. This is back then. I sent her my papers, like the first 50 pages. She sent them back to me with red all over. You couldn't even see the black ink. And then she sent me like a 4-5 page editorial single-spaced critique. Yeah. Telling me everything that was wrong with my book. Wow. And that was hard, right? So I was like, I knew it, but then I was like, oh. So I kind of put it away, and I was like, oh. So then I got, okay. So I brought it out, and I decided to roll up my sleeves and dig in and really read all the stuff that she told me to do. And it was really great. She taught me so much, and I worked with her for months on learning the craft of writing, about voice, about structure, about the 3-act structure, the different ways, the climax, just all of this stuff. And I was like, holy cannoli. Yeah. This is a lot of stuff here. So I had to learn, and I am so grateful for her because she was wonderful. She taught me a lot. But as a writer, I'm still growing and learning. And I think we do that in any profession, right? Like as a lawyer, you still are learning and growing. You go to your continuing legal education, CLE, every year. As a writer, I go to writing conferences about the craft of writing. And I learn from some of the best. And I'm growing and learning. So that's the way I did it. Yeah.
That's because to me, I don't think everybody does that, because it's like a lot of people have a lot of books, and I know they don't go through all of that. So for your hard work and effort, for sure. Also, Janet Potts says Comic-Palooza is so fun.
Janet, did you go? Did you go last month? Did you see me? Did you come to my booth? So my table. So here's the thing with Comic Palooza, because I've been going for such a long time and I really have built up a following. And I was so lucky because I got asked to be on a panel with Terry Brooks.
Okay, tell us about Terry Brooks. Yes.
He is the father of fantasy. He's in his 80s and he wrote the Shannara Chronicles. And it was a fantasy book, of course, that everyone in my generation that loves fantasy, everyone read that series. And it's colossal. I don't know, 40, 50 books in that world. And I was asked to be the moderator on his panel and to be on a panel with him. And I tell you what, I was such a fangirl. I did, and I knew I was going to be, and I was joking. I'm like, I hope I don't like act like a crazy maniac, but I did. I acted like a crazy maniac. If you go to my Instagram, you will see on there pictures of me, and I'm literally manhandling this sweet, precious man. I mean, I'm hugging him and I'm touching him. I'm like, I was like so into him. And he was so nice because he was like so reciprocal. Yeah. He wanted to know about me and my books. And he came to my table and he took a book and he signed a thing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, Terry Brooks.
I'm so excited for you and everything that's happening. You're like living your dream. And that is what it's all about.
Yes, I was starstruck.
Yes.
Somebody says you were starstruck. Yes. Hardcore.
You were for sure. Okay, so lastly, I would just love, because we're out of time, but I would just love for you to leave the group or the people with something to maybe inspire or motivate them. Maybe if they're stuck, they're not fulfilled in life, they want to do more, be more, have more. What words of wisdom do you have?
Wow. Okay. So I think the thing is to never give up. I mean, that's like kind of the thing, but that's hard. And so surround yourself with people that are going to be encouraging you and loving you and elevating you. Who you have in your circle is really, really, really important. And also, giving thanks, right? So, thanking God for your blessings and for, watching over you. Because I really do feel like I do have angels around me. I don't know. I feel like I've got some blessings because things always work out, but you also have that component of making things happen yourself, right? So like there's always in the darkness, there's always a sliver of light if you look hard enough. Yes. You also need to be proactive. Yes. You need to look because it's there, that light, that hope, that thing, whatever it is.
I love it.
It's there, but you have to like really take those steps.
And basically, this is what she just said. Faith without works is dead.
Yes.
She also said, come from a place of gratitude.
Yeah.
So many times we're looking for more, faster. And we're not taking into account all of the wonderful things and people we're blessed with. Also, surround yourself with positive people who are going somewhere, people who talk about ideas, not other people and everything that's wrong and everything that, negative. So, and positive expectancy.
Yeah.
Expect positive things to happen. What did we always learn in Mary Kay? Your attitude
determines your altitude. I remember.
Yes, sister. I appreciate you so much. So y'all, if you want to find out her Instagram, her social media, her Facebook and everything, all things Rose Garcia, get in some of her clubs, on her mailing list, go to www.rosegarciabooks.com and be sure to check out the beauty box forhim.com to see what this is all about. Yes.
I want to say one thing. I want to thank you, Cheryl, for reaching out to me and inviting me to come and speak to your group. But also, I just want to thank you because you are a ray of sunshine.
Oh, thank you.
You are. And back in the Mary Kay day, I remember, and I'm not even kidding you, I remember I was with like my little power group, and we were standing around, and it's like, okay, what class are you going to go to? You know, you go to your class and then there's the meeting. And I had a group that always said, oh, whenever you were teaching, I'm going to the Church of Cheryl.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
The Church of Cheryl. People have always told me I could be a Baptist preacher or a comedian.
Yes.
Or a comedian.
Me too. Not the preacher part, but the comedian part. But she would always say, whenever you were teaching, I'm going to the Church of Cheryl.
That's insane. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I'm glad, you know, if nothing else, I got to hear that because I feel like my life, you know, and we've heard recently, sometimes you feel like things are falling apart, but they're really falling into place.
Yeah.
I feel like all of the roads to my life, because they seemed like they were going parallel, but they kind of intersected, and I figured out why everything was everything. Yes, I'm still a Mary Kay sales director. I still love women. I'm still doing that, but something new has been born, and y'all need to go to thebeautyboxforhim.com to check out about and how this happened. And you need to get with the program.
It happened at a football game. What? What did you say?
Oh, it happened Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
Super Bowl Sunday is when it happened. So y'all got to go read about it.
You need to read it.
I love you, Rose. Thank you so
you,
much. Thank you so much, everybody who came, and we'll talk to you later. Go forth and multiply.
Yes. Thank y'all.
Bye.